Hello budding artists, welcome back to Art Club. Today we're going to be doing the letter C, and C for me is going to be clowns. I chose clowns because they're colourful and bright, and so far we've done an alien creature and some birds, and I thought it's about time we start to do some characters. So I'm just going to do one clown today, but I'll do him quite large and we'll make him quite bright and colourful. And also a little bit of a background too. So let's get started with our clown design. So as you can see, R2 has decided to come and join us again. He always does. He loves this little space. But R2, you can't help unless you're dressed up as a clown and you're going to give me some inspiration, which I don't think you are. So let's get your little paws off of here, hey, while I start to draw this colourful picture. Okay, can I take you off, or you can sit on my lap? Ugh. Here you go. I've selected my favourite pencil, and we'll start as always with the letter C. Let's do something that I feel represents clowns, and we will just add some embellishments to this letter C. I like doing this bit. I find it really therapeutic. And then we'll have some rainbow stripes. And I would encourage all of you to experiment with the letters, because it's really interesting. It's just as much fun. Put a little love heart in here to match the top one. So C for me stands for clowns, and that's what we're going to draw today. So let's start off with our head, and I'm just going to very lightly draw a circle. And then this is going to be my base for the head. And you'll see a lot of artists, they will map out their design before they go in with any of the detail. So whereas with the birds and with the alien I went straight in, because we're drawing a person, I want to get the proportions just right. So then we want a body. Now the body is going to be smaller, so I'm going to do like a little oval shape, just connects the two up. Now I want my clown to be wearing braces, and he's going to have clown pantaloons, so they need to be a lot bigger. So this is going to be the shape of his trousers, typical clown trousers, and then he is going to have baggy style bottoms. So we put the little creases in the bottom of his baggy trousers, and then we want to give him a little bit of leg, and then he's going to have big, huge clown shoes. This is the shape of my clown shoe. Massive with a big bulb at the top, and then we want the soles, and they go in a little bit, and then the heel finally at the back. Do the reverse, the heel, and then the sole of the boot. We'll add all the detail in a little bit later. For now it's more important just to get the shape of our person, our clown. So I want to give him shoulders, and he'll be wearing a top. We'll give him a long arm with another baggy sleeve to match his trousers. And the top will go back into the trousers. And here, we will do his arm, other arm up. This is just the sleeve of his top, nice and skinny, and that connects back into his body. Now hair, do some hair and a hat for our crazy clown. So the hat, I would like a little hat. So we give the hat a rim, like so. And then I want this shaped clown hat, and we're going to put a little bobble on the top and a little bobble, or two little bobbles in the middle. I want my clown to have crazy, mad hair, almost like curly hair that is super, super crazy. That's going to go behind his arm. Massive hair. Just like so. We will give him a big dicky bow or a bow tie. So to do my bow tie, we want a knot in the middle and then one big bow and then another big bow. Now remember, I said I wanted him to be wearing braces to attach to his huge ginormous trousers, so let's put those in. We'll do one strap for the braces, goes behind the bow here, and another strap for the braces going there. And then we want a button that will hold that on. They're his braces. We want to give our clown some gloves. One thumb and classic cartoons. If you notice in cartoons like Mickey Mouse, for example, he's a good example, and films like Pinocchio, when you've got characters that wear gloves, white gloves, or any gloves I guess, you'll notice cartoons have 4 fingers instead of 5 fingers like humans. Check it out next time you're watching your favourite cartoon at home. So, another glove. This time here, we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. And you can see our clown is really starting to take shape. So, we will give him some buttons going down the front of his top. And there always should be big buttons. We will give him some patches, and I'm just going to put 2 squares, maybe, or square, and then another square to make it look like a diamond. This is wonderful. I'm going to give him stripy socks. This will be really fun to colour in. And I think we've got enough here. Let's start working on our clown's face. I'm going to put a little bit of his mouth in. So I want the mouth to be huge. And we're going to go for a classic clown mouth. I'm going to give him 2 lips. And if you've ever seen clowns, they do have a really large mouth. So we're going to outline this in red. And this is his real mouth that goes in the middle with a little hole, almost like he's blind or whistling. And then we want his nose, so we will give an oval nose, and we'll put the little ball of light in like we do with our eyes. Now for the clown eyes, I am going to do like an arch, like two big arches, 1, 2, and then we'll do an outline or an inside line for the arch, just like so, and then we will put the clown's proper eye in the middle, and he's looking up. Now we can start to add a little bit more decoration. And I think for decoration, it's more about what we do with the clothes themselves. So I am going to add, I want the trousers to have big spots on them. Really, really large spots. So we place our spots wherever we can get them, filling in the whole of his trousers. Doesn't matter if some of them interfere with his patches. You can have big circles and small circles, just to make this costume really, really jazzy. Now, because we have done circles here, I have to think about what we could do for his top to make that really, really exciting. So we could give the top a pattern. So how about we have some crazy flowers on his top. So I am going to draw an outline, double outline for each one of the flowers, and then a smaller flower on the inside of the sleeve, because this is thinner, so we don't want a big flower. And then on his top here, we can do another big flower, and a little flower in the middle, little center of the flower. And let's have another one a little bit higher up. 1, 2, 3. They're like psychedelic flowers. And then we'll have another small flower just here. 1, 2, 3, 4 petals. And another little flower here. And then on the second arm, let's go for a big flower. See if I can get 2 big flowers in on the sleeve. 1 here, and maybe 1 here. And then we just do the inner line, and a little blob for the centre. 4 petals here, 1, 2 petals here. And we'll have 1 more little petal here, I think, and maybe another piece of the psychedelic flower here. So that's most of our clown done. I'm going to go in with my rubber next, my trusty little rubber, and we are going to start to rub out some of the parts where it overlaps, so just so you can start to see what your clown looks like. So let's rub out where I did the outline for the body. And also his sleeve here I can see is coming through on the braces. So let's go down here and rub those out. Just very, very lightly with the rubber. Now I know his face does have a little bit of an overlap. I'm going to have the hat going over this eye, but the other eye going over the hat, which is going to look really crazy. And that bit of his head, so you can see this part of the eye is going to go, and then the hat will be there and it will look good. Where else do we need to rub out? I think that's pretty much it, you know. That's not too bad at all. Let's get our trusty black felt tip pen, and now we can start to outline him and see what sort of shape we have for our clown. So let's start with his gloves. Big gloves, big fingers, and the little line here. Then we will go in with his top, or his baggy shirt with big puffy sleeves. That's one sleeve down, and then the shoulders. Now here we have the braces. Let's put the braces in. And the bottom of his trousers. These super baggy trousers. And we'll do the leg with the baggy pants and the baggy bottoms. Little socks. Top of our shoe, and then I'll add the stripes into the socks. And then we'll do his big shoe with the sole of the shoe, and then the heel of the shoe. And then we do leg number 2. So I'm not pressing too hard with my felt tip pen. And there's the top of his trousers. We'll connect the trousers up to the second part of the clown's braces. Let's go down and do the sock, the rim of the shoe, the heel, and these massive shoes that the clown's wearing. Huge shoes. And let's do the sleeve. 1, 2, 3 puffy sleeve elements. Here we go. And the glove. And let's do the bow tie. The knot in the middle, and then the bow tie. Actually, we could have given the bow tie a pattern. Remember that when we come to finishing. So I am going to do this part of this face, and then this part of the hat, and then this part of the hat is going to go over this eye. It's covering the eye. There's his hat, and the rest of his face, and then the hair. Lots and lots of crazy hair. Let's do the second side of the hair. Like so. Now I've got some more big things that I can do. So the buttons, the buttons, the buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, 4 buttonholes. 1, 2, 3, 4 on each one. Just a nice little bit of detail. Now we've got big circles here, so we can certainly draw these in using this pen, because it's a nice big pen. Here and here. I can do my square patch, and I'm going to put some stitches in here, like the patch has been sewn on badly, because clowns have quite comical. So they're the stitches for our patch. Let's switch pens. So I want a felt tip pen that has a slightly finer tip, so that I can start to get in more of the detail, and especially with the face sections. So I'm going to do the eye, and I hope you guys will see me doing this. nose. Now this part of the eye is where I chose to have the hat hiding the top of the eye. And we do the clown's lips. That nice big smile. And the inner part of the mouth, like so. And then the clown's actual mouth, his real mouth, here. The clown's eye, bobbles on the hats. 3 of those. And then we have all the smaller details to do on the clown's costume. I've realised I've actually made him really, really colourful. Or really quite busy in terms of all these little parts he's got on his outfit. With the flowers. Little flowers. See, the little point on this pen is much smaller than the one I was using previously. So it enables me just to get in and do all these detailed parts. I hope I'm not going too fast for everyone. We have a button on his braces. And we have some more circles here. Pattern on his trousers. So when you come to do your clown, I do love it when you change the ideas. So remember, clowns can have stripes and spots, spirals and zigzags, different sorts of patterns. So when you do your clown, get really creative and play around with lots of different costume ideas. Colours are one thing, costumes are another thing. I'm going to put 2 circles here. This is for the light that you will get reflected onto the boots because they're going to be nice and shining. So that's our clown. I've just realised I've missed a little bit of shine on his nose. So we're ready to go and fill him in. The reason why I chose a clown today was because we could really be experimental and playful with the colours that we choose to fill in this picture with, and it's going to be different for every single person that does their clown. This is where I would encourage you to pick the colour scheme that you want. A clown is going to be a mixture of colours. It's really good if you can make the colours clash with each other. So we know that reds and yellows look really, really good together, but how about reds with greens? What happens when we put those colours next to each other? So be really, really playful in terms of what you do and how you colour in your clown. I'm going to start with the green. I love this very, very light, almost acidy green. And this is going to be the colour of my top. So we'll get a nice bold colour with these. And just fill in around the little flower shapes. And then we go onto the body, again, being really, really careful with all these little shapes that we've drawn. This is more tricky than probably what we've done before, but I think that you will enjoy the results of this when it's completed and you see just how bright and colourful this little character is. I think clowns are wonderful. They are so vibrant and so silly and crazy and fun. And who doesn't like a little bit of that? Let's go on to that sleeve. I want to get this shoulder. I just realised I missed this out. It's gone really quiet. I think R2 must have gone to bed. Usually he's jumping on the table a lot. Or maybe it was just the topic of birds yesterday that attracted him more so than the clown. Here we go. That's a nice bright colour for a clown. Now, I keep thinking about my clown's hair, and you know what? I am going to do it orange, like my hair. So maybe this would be me as a clown, because I don't have any hair at all, as you've seen. I shaved my hair. However, my beard is ginger. So let's give this clown orange hair, ginger hair. And already I can see, look at the effect of the orange against the green. I think that's really jazzy. So we'll just, again, I'm doing my little round motions here. My pencil has one flat end, which makes colouring in these parts really easy. And what I can do is flip it over to the slightly sharper end, and we'll do our favourite bits, or my favourite bit I should say, which is adding in a little bit of detail. And it's getting that shadow in to make the hair look textured and more dimensional. So I'm just adding, just on this bottom section here, some areas to make that hair look more three-dimensional. This would be where the shadow is, so we're giving it a little bit of texture to almost make it look a little bit lumpy. And let's do side number 2. A nice light base of orange. And we'll do a little bit of different shading on this one here. So I've got a base colour in, then I'm going to go up and close to these areas here. I don't want too much white showing through. And when you're doing this at home and practicing, spend a little bit more time. Switch between felt tip pens or pencil crayons, whichever you prefer. And we'll get these little bobbly pieces in with a sharper point with my pencil, just to make it look more textured. Just sort of like little circular shapes really. A few more just above that. And then what I'm going to do is make this a little bit darker here. This would be where the shadow is. The face hidden behind, or the face coming over the top. I'll make that a little bit darker, just to give it a little bit more dimension like we have on the other side of the face. I like him with ginger hair. What do you guys think? Let's add a little bit of pink, or like a pinky red, I think. So I'm going to use, look how sharp this pencil is. I've sharpened that to a nice point. This is going to be his trousers. So we get the big areas done first. So this isn't like a vibrant, what I call a red. But it will look good against the green. Let's just go around all these little detail parts. Getting a good base down. Keep it a little bit lighter in the centre. So less pressure. And take the pressure off the pencil, not press too hard to get that a little bit lighter. And we get that nice blended effect. And around the little patch here, this is going to be darker. So I'm using a bit more pressure around here. I made a mistake, look. I went onto my circle, so I didn't realise that was a circle. And this is really confusing as well for me. It's the little gap between his legs, but I think it's another little circle, so do be careful if you've copied me and done the same design. Maybe we should have gone for stripy trousers. I think the spots are going to look good. Just fill this in. Leg number 2. This will make it a lot easier. And here I can see the circle more clearly. Now we'll make it darker as we go to the bottom. So a little bit more pressure. And around this little circle, again making it darker on this outside part. And nice and dark on this section here. That's all of his trousers done. We need to add some blue in here because I think he's looking very red and green and orange. Let's get a contrasting colour and go for a really, really nice, vivid blue. So I think I will do the blue for the bow tie. There we go, we'll make it a little bit stronger and we'll shade in the bottom half, so press so it's darker here and then nice and strong for the bow in the middle and then light and then we'll make this outer part of the bow a little bit stronger, and it's almost, if you look what I'm doing here, I'm doing it like in a C shape to match the shape of the actual bow itself, or the drawing that we've done. That's his bow, that's looking good. We can still carry on using the blue, and I will come back to this because I think we can use the blue in other places as a nice contrast. So I need to think about his shoes. So for his shoes, I am going to make them purple. Why not? Why can't he have nice big purple boots? So these are rather large, so a nice rich purple. Nice light wash of colour here. So we've done mostly pencil crayons. I'm saving my felt tip pens for the detail. We've got all these little intricate shapes to do on his top and also on his trousers. So I think this is where that will come in handy. So a nice light wash of colour, then we'll go in with adding a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to do a bit more pressure with my pencil to make it darker around the heel. And just carry that along. The whole of the bottom will be a little bit darker. Just backwards and forwards with a nice even pressure, and then also around where we've done the shading, and I will switch to my little scribbly circular motion here because we're doing a bigger area just on his shoe, and then we'll do boot number 2. I keep calling them boots and shoes. This is a really, really nice colour. I do love purple. My favourite colour, favourite colour is red. Always love the colour red. In fact, I think I need to get a bit of red in here, a really bright red, and I know just where I'm going to do it. So, I've got our base colour done in the purple. Now we do the same thing again. Let's add a bit more pressure and make it a little bit darker on the bottom part of the shoe, and then definitely darker here. And around where we've got that area of highlight. That's our clown's boots. He has a little hat on his head, so I am going to do the hat pink. That's a real clashing colour to go with his ginger hair. I like the colour pink. I think that's a really good colour. Sits within the red family. A little bit of red and a little bit of white will give us this really gorgeous colour pink. Let's add a little bit of dimension again in here by pressing a little bit harder on the outer part of the hat. Let's give that a 3D effect. And I need a brighter red. Remember I said I wanted a brighter red. I am going to do that for the bib of his braces. Look how strong this red is compared to the other red. This is the sort of colour that I absolutely love. I keep thinking about all the decorations. My eyes, every time I draw, I'm always moving around and looking at the next part that I want to colour in. I'm just colouring this little brace. Holds his trousers up. Without these braces, the trousers would fall down. So here we go, that nice strong red. Let's get it really strong at the top, because that bow tie is over the top of that, so there'll be a little bit of a shadow here. Maybe a little bit more of a shadow on the inner part of the brace as well. Here we go. He is coming along nicely. Let's switch over to some felt tip pens just for a moment. So I want to do the clown's lip and the clown's nose. So we are going to have a magenta pink lip as opposed to a red lip in the felt tip pen. This is a nice colour. All the way around. And if you Google or do a search for clowns, clown makeup I should say, or clown characters, you will see that there are so many different styles to each and every clown in terms of the way they look. I'm going to use blue, very light blue, as the framework for his eyes. I am going to use a lovely yellow to do the little baubles, the little pom-poms on his hat, like so. And while we're on it, let's do the centre of the flowers in yellow, while we have our yellow felt tip pen. What about those buttons? I wonder what colour I can do those buttons. Maybe a darker blue. No, we've done blue already, haven't we? So I think possibly a darker green for the buttons. It's a good contrasting colour, or a complementary colour I should say. And now for part one of the flowers themselves. So I have this highlighter pen and I really like them because the colours in highlighters are super bright. So if you have one of these, they are really good because the colours are so vibrant. I'm going to do all the flowers using this highlighter pen. And they come in lots of different colours, but the pink and the green are by far the brightest. So if you can get your hands on one of these, have a play. So the pink against the green looks really wow. More petals. There, don't they look cool? That's our petals, but we've got an inner part to do on these petals as well, so we'll come back and fill those in as well. Let's do the patch. I want this one here to be stripy. We're doing a nice bright blue colour, and on the other one we will do the same stripes, maybe a bit thicker, using a bright green. Artie's not very happy, he's having a good cry. How about some spots on his trousers? They can be dark blue, so we'll use a dark blue felted pen. Actually, we could even do them multicoloured. Let's see how we feel as we're colouring these in. This blue colour looks really good with the red. I think I will probably do them all blue, at least for the big ones. This little one here, and this one here. Ooh, R2 is clearly hungry. R2, come on. See if I can get him in. Come on, R2. He's usually roaming around underneath my feet. Today he's been quiet. So there we have all these nice blue spots. They are looking good. We need to do those inner parts, don't we, of the flowers as well, and the other parts of the button. So let's see if I can do them the same sort of colours. I am going to do purple for these smaller dots, using a nice purple felt tip pen. Here we go. And I will use purple on the inside of the pink. This is very psychedelic and groovy. But I've gone for similar colours. I just realised that. That may be down to my age. If any grown-ups or adults that are doing this, they will probably understand why. These are very 1970s looking colours, which I quite like, which I do like. I want to give him red and white striped socks. Now we've only got one here, as opposed to 3. I am going to go in with a dark purple felt tip pen to do the top of his shoes, just to complete the look on his feet and his shoes. And we need to do the soles of his feet, so let's do them in a nice groovy yellow. I do love purple and yellow together, they look really amazing. There we are. The soles of his shoes. So I have a few little pieces left to do, just to finish this clown off. Now his gloves, his gloves. Now, although the gloves are white, I am going to use this nice light colour. It's a very light aqua, but you could use grey. We did this yesterday. I'm going to use this just to sort of like create a bit more of an effect, a little bit more dimension on his gloves. And when people are working with white, they often use blue or grey as their colour to give white more dimension. So we just do these little shapes on his glove, simple lines really. We'll do that here, and also on this little part here. Now we can also do the same thing on his face, although clowns do have a white face as well, so a little bit of the blue just on the outer corner here. Now we need to give him his eyeball. Let's fill that in. I'm going to put a little circle there just to give it the highlight. And the other thing that clowns often have is a little cross. So we put a little dot there, and a little dot there, and a little dot on the top. We can't see the dot on the top, and one to the side. So sort of like a little miniature cross. And I also need to fill in his actual mouth, here like so. And also that he's blowing a kiss or whistling. And also we need to fill in this part here. And this is the inside part of the dungaree, which is naturally going to be quite dark. So there we have our finished clown. What we can also do is give the clown a background. And I was thinking about this when I did the bird picture the other day, is can on my background, can I use the letter C in terms of doing a background for our clown? And I absolutely can. So I thought we could do a circus tent. And we just do the little awning, the decorative parts. Circus tents are usually stripy, like so. This is just an idea for you to give yourselves the background, and then they sort of go like this, and then you have the strings that hold the tent in with the little tent pegs. They're stuck into the ground, and you can also give your circus tent stripes this way. It's nice and easy, but it just gives your clown a bit of a background. We will do some little spikes of grass here, more spikes of grass here, and I thought of another thing that clowns often have, and this could be something that he's thrown up in the air, I guess, would be a custard pie. So they are really, really sloppy, wet, liquidy, creamy pies that they have on a plate that they throw up. We do these little lines just to make it look as though he's thrown his pie up. Let's just finish off with the grass. Got a couple of little flowers in here. And that's our clown in our background. These are things that you could do. For now, you could just work on the clown if you wanted to, and keep doing your clown, and trying different costumes for your clown and different colour schemes for your clown. I'm going to leave my clown at this. I'm not going to colour in the background today. These are just ideas for you to copy, or for you to change, and for you to have a go at inventing a background for your clown. And because we use the letter C, we have a clown, a circus tent. Actually, let's get the circus tent flag. There we go. And these can be coloured in any way you want to colour them in. So thank you very much for watching. This has been the third one in our art club series, and there will be another one on its way tomorrow, and we'll use the letter D. Stay tuned, and I wonder if you can have a guess at what we're going to do for D. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a really, really good evening. Speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.